Let's look at approaches to an audit, still continuing with topic 4, auditing, which is internal control. So results from the evaluation of internal control determine the audit approach. Yeah, if you see that the internal controls are effective, you'll use a different approach compared to when you see that they are ineffective. So there are two approaches to an audit. The first one we have is combined approach. This is where the auditor uses both tests of controls and substantive procedures to collect evidence. And this is used when the auditor expects the internal controls to be effective. Yeah, the auditor will use the test of controls that show that controls are effective, and then would use the substantive procedures too. Then the second approach is the substantive approach. This is where the auditor uses substantive procedures to collect audit evidence, and this happens when the auditor expects the internal controls to be ineffective. So the auditor will go ahead and perform substantive procedures like test each transaction to obtain sufficient appropriate evidence. So those are the two approaches to audit: a combined approach, which is for both test of controls and substantive procedures, and this is when the auditor expects controls to be effective. Then the substantive approach, it's where the auditor expects the internal controls to be ineffective. The auditor may use different approaches for different financial statement areas due to the assessed risks. A combined approach, where appropriate, is more effective, and it is an effective audit approach because you will get to test the controls and then at the same time use the substantive procedures to collect more evidence. So a combined approach is more effective. For example, if controls on the completeness of sales are ineffective, then more substantive testing on completeness of revenue and trade receivables will be done. So a combined approach is more effective compared to the substantive approach. So those are the two types or the two approaches to audit: combined approach and then substantive approach. Thanks for watching.